All right, everybody, what's up? Welcome to your reading for the full moon in Leo, happening on Wednesday, the 16th of February, 17th of February in the Southern Hemisphere. There is a lot that is going on collectively right now. Yes, I know we're in sort of a big global shift, and you could say every day that there's a lot going on collectively, but we're experiencing a type of reweaving of filaments, things not going according to plan because we're trying to force them, and there's this sort of rebraiding that is happening in the finer details of our lives. And so little things that we have been trying to do for a long time, maybe it's a friendship that we've been trying to hold on to, or it's a project at work that we've been trying to complete, or small things like that haven't really been coming forwards or sort of coming to completion for us, is because we have been in this element of forcing, and we're really being asked to move into this space of receiving at this moment. The full moon in Leo is very much about the heart energy, and it's very, very much a request to, with all of the planets in alignment, nothing is in retrograde, it's very much a request to, what would the world be like? Or to sort of request to see the world. What would the world be like if we were to do things from a loving perspective? If we were to see things in love, if we were to see things as love. And one of the ways we can do this, I know it sounds lame, but there's a saying that anxiety and gratitude can't exist at the same time. And so writing things that you're grateful for in the morning or before you go to sleep, or allowing yourself to try as hard as you can to bring in love, to bring in a loving perspective, to reframe, maybe something bad happens. How could this be something good? How could this be the best thing possible for me? Yes, this might feel like a trick, and it's so easy to say no to this. It's so easy to say like, oh, I don't want to do that. It's stupid. But it's making your life harder. And so allowing yourself to surrender to the receiving of the love that is present by allowing your brain to reframe. How is this the best thing that happened to me today? What are the 3 best things that happened to me today? We are living in a challenging time. And so this is a trick that can help us elevate ourselves a little bit more. And so if you're feeling this heaviness or this weight, I think you'll start to feel a little bit of a difference coming up with the full moon. But it's not just you. And what's really, really important as well right now is letting others know that you also care about them. Giving out what you want to receive. Do you want that love? Give it out to somebody. Do you want that communication? Give it out to somebody. Do you want that connection? Reach out, especially the introverts, the empaths. Make that uncomfortable effort to connect with people. Say yes when it's easier or more comfortable to say no. And hopefully that will guide you forwards. I have a little human moment. So, full moon in Leo. Interesting. This is our first card. And what's really coming through for this is honoring and recognizing where foundations have come from. This very much feels like a relationship card. So it's not necessarily about you, but it is going to be self-reflective if you're doing a lot of inner work right now. So maybe it's the deep inner you, but it's also somebody that you're sort of in relationship with. And that is, where did this foundation come from? What is their history? What is your deep history? Look to the past. which, we live in a fast-paced world and we live in a place where people are always looking forwards. But in this moment and in this full moon, look to the past to gain a bigger understanding and a more holistic perspective of where people are coming from. We are in a moment in life right now and in the world where it's so easy to clash with opinions and clash with things that we don't agree with. But if we understand where people are coming from, what difficulties have they survived in their youth? What did their inner child have to go through? What were their early adult years like? Allowing yourself to be a little bit curious about the past of others will broaden your scope for understanding and will broaden your scope for being able to expand your capacity for tolerance, for understanding why people do things the way that they do. And so again, when we live in a time when it's harder to connect than it used to be, or it seems that way right now, things will shift and get better. But as it seems like it's harder to connect and it seems like it's harder to understand where people are coming from, allowing yourself to go a little bit deeper into their story will give you a greater sense of peace, because you won't feel like things are happening out of nowhere. And so if this is you're doing a lot of personal work right now, or maybe you're in shadow mode right now and you're trying to work through your own stuff, giving yourself a break and giving yourself some peace from why you do things the way that you do, maybe based on your history, and recognizing that we're all very messy humans. We're all extremely complicated, and you're not alone in this. And if you do something a certain way and you wish that you could really change it, but you feel like it's really hardwired, that is a byproduct of being human. And so giving yourself more understanding there is going to be a way to ease yourself as you heal. I'm getting like a pretty strong message here about communication and sort of being outwardly seen and showing yourself. Leos are very much the center of attention. They love the spotlight. They're often quite hilarious, and usually the people who are sort of bringing that energy for parties or for gatherings and whatnot. And so when we have this really strong heart center theme for this full moon, and we've got it in Leo, it's really asking us to express what we care about. Be open about what you care about. Are you really into knitting? Be open about it. Are you really into going for walks in blizzards when everybody else is having a hard time with the weather? Be open about it. Allow yourself to be seen a little bit more, because we really need to strip away this idea that everybody who is on Instagram and everybody who is on social media is that perfect all the time. And, we're getting in this comparison trap of perfection. And so if you can be a little bit more open about the things that you love and the people that you love, it's going to bring some humanity back into your day-to-day life and your connections. Okay. Okay, interesting. And then, so this is for all of you insanely productive people, which I definitely fall under. Whether you do it because it makes you feel good or because you are a bit of an avoider, whatever it is. This little house, I try not to go back and forth too much because of the autofocus here, but this little house card, focus, there we go. This is really a reminder of what season we are in. It is February. Things are sleeping, and it's really a request in this full moon to let go of these ideas of hyper-productivity. Like I said at the beginning of the reading, this idea of force, trying to force our way forwards. This is not the time to get Beachbody ready or start a bunch of new habits because you're feeling like you're in a rut. This is a time to keep things very, very simple and be okay with things being slow. And so for some people, they've got quite a healthy practice in the evenings. Maybe they I don't know why I keep coming back to knitting or crocheting, but maybe they have a crochet project or rug hooking or whatever in the evenings, and they do that consistently. And it might seem kind of boring, and it might seem kind of mundane, and it might seem kind of quiet, but it is really important to have a practice that allows you to feel like you're receiving rest and to feel like you're receiving some source of peace. This is not the time to launch all of your ideas into the sky. We are all in a period of rest right now, and it is okay, especially as people feel so busy. It is okay if other aspects of your life feel like they're kind of the same, they're not really moving forwards. The more that we can steep in this energy of the home and comfort and sort of grounding and really making our home as much of a sanctuary as we can. Where can I make my life a sanctuary? Is it having a clean room, or is it cooking warm meals in the evening? The more that we can create this sense of sanctuary in the home, it will allow us that deep, healthy, really healthy foundation for ourselves to be able to move out into the world and do the things that we need to do. Again, it's like, I heard this concept about the 80-year cycle the other day, where this generation is akin to the generation that was living through World War II, which doesn't really seem like that far of a reach. And allowing your home space, allowing this reality to be as nurturing and as comforting as it can, it will give you that reset. It'll give you that breath and that sort of sigh of relief to be able to reconnect to yourself when you're at home and to live your life in the world that we live in right now to the best of your ability in your day-to-day life. And so those of you who are hyper productive, it's really a message for not doing anything is doing something. And we are humans, we're not machines. We really, really, really need to give ourselves that opportunity to be slow, to be methodical, and to, if you want to do something new, get into breathing exercises, get into breathing practices, and let your breathing become something that you become really familiar with, because that'll help you navigate all the ups and downs in your life anyway. Okay, we've got one more here. This is coming through as a sort of community card, connection card, sort of like you in comparison to the world's, you in comparison to the world at large, in a sense. Yeah, okay, so I really love this card. It's really special to me. Come on, focus. There we go. So what's coming through for this card is allowing yourself to make connections with people that you didn't at first expect. Oh, sorry about that noise. The raindrops that are coming through here are really about these gifts that we're given in life that we don't expect, and we don't see them as gifts necessarily right away. But if you look closely, they are quite beautiful. They're quite sort of precious, and this is really coming through to remind yourself that you may find friendships in unexpected people, and you also may find depth in friendships that you already have that you didn't really expect. Maybe you have somebody that you sort of always shoot the shit with, but you've never really considered them to be someone you could talk to on a deeper level. But if you give it a shot, they might be somebody who's actually gone through a very similar experience. And so in a time where disconnection seems to be the biggest ailment that we feel like we're experiencing right now, allow yourself to reach out to people that you may or may not have really given a chance to before, or you may or may not have considered them to be a viable option. People can surprise you, and we are all so complex. And so the assumptions that you have made about this connection or about this friendship or about your options could very well be wrong. And how wonderful it may be if you are wrong, because then there could be a really wonderful relationship or friendship waiting for you in that unexpectedness. So that is all I have for you today for the full moon in Leo occurring on Wednesday. If you're new to the YouTube channel, please like, subscribe. I would love to continue to grow this family. If you're on Instagram, please follow, please share this. I would love, love, love these readings to get to more people. And if you would like to support my work, because I would like to be doing this more often and in greater depth, you can drop me an etransfer in the description box below, either through banking in Canada or PayPal. I'm obviously really getting comfortable with donations, but through PayPal, which I'll also put in the description box below. So thank you so much. Allow yourselves to receive this love on the full moon in Leo, and allow yourself to be seen. Take care.